Now, this was received recently. I think you may like this. Well, you'll be interested in hearing about it. I don't think you're going to like it at all. It's a little lengthy, but not too bad. This was sent by, who sent this exactly? Who sent it? Steve sent it. But it's verifiable. And it is leftist proof. This lays out everything. How stupid can the American people be to let this happen over and over again? Sit there, head in the sand. No, it's actually stick their head in the sand. We must get these people out of office and in jail. If you don't think the fix is in, read on. All dots connected. Let's follow the trail. Everyone needs to read this. I'll read it to you. It'll be posted in the news section. Slowly and patiently, because it's very important. Here's what it looks like when all the pieces are sewn together. It smells like conspiracy and treason. From 2001 to 2005, there was an ongoing investigation into the Clinton Foundation. A grand jury had been empaneled. Governments from around the world had donated to the charity, yet from 2001 to 2003, none of those donations to the Clinton Foundation were declared. Now you would think that an honest investigator would be able to figure this out. Guess who took over this investigation in 2002? None other than James Comey. Guess who was transferred in to the Internal Revenue Service to run the tax exemption branch of the IRS? Your friend and mine, Lois Be on the Lookout Lerner. Gets better. Well, not really, but this is all just a series of strange coincidences, right? Guess who ran the tax division inside the Department of Justice from 2001 to 2005? No other than Assistant Attorney General of the United States, Rod Rosenstein. And who was the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation during this time frame? Robert Mueller. What do all four cast and characters have in common? They were all briefed and/or were frontline investigators into the Clinton Foundation investigation. Let's fast forward to 2009. James Comey leaves the Justice Department to go and cash in at Lockheed Martin. Hillary Clinton is running the State Department on her own personal email server, by the way. The Uranium One issue comes to the attention of Hillary. Like all good public servants do, looking out for America's best interests, she decides to support the decision and approve the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium to no other than Russia. Now, you'd think this is a fairly straight-up deal, except it wasn't. The people, that's us, got absolutely nothing out of it. However, prior to the sale's approval, none other than Bill Clinton goes to Moscow, gets paid $500,000 for a one-hour speech, then meets with Vladimir Putin at his home for a few hours. No big deal, right? Well, not so fast. The FBI had a mole inside the money laundering and bribery scheme. And who was the FBI director during this time? Right, Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller even delivered a uranium sample to Moscow in 2009. And who was handling that case within the Justice Department out of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland? Rod Rosenstein. And what happened to the informant? The Department of Justice placed a gag order on him and threatened to lock him up if he spoke up about it. How does 20% of the most strategic asset of the United States of America end up in Russian hands when the FBI has an informant, a mole, providing inside information to the FBI on the criminal enterprise? And what happened soon after the sale was approved? $145 million in donations made their way into the Clinton Foundation from entities directly connected to the Uranium One deal. And who was still at the Internal Revenue Service working the charitable division? Lois Lerner. Fast forward to 2015. Due to a series of tragic events in Benghazi, and after the 9 investigations, the House, Senate, and its State Department, Trey Gowdy, who was running the 10th investigation, as chairman of the Select Committee on Benghazi, discovers that Hillary ran the State Department on an unclassified, unauthorized, outlaw personal email server. He also discovered that none of those emails had been turned over when she departed her public service as Secretary of State, which was required by law. He also discovered that there was top-secret information contained within her personally archived email. Let's not forget, at least 10 CIA spies in China were killed by the Chinese because of the leaks, and God only knows what else occurred. Sparing you the State Department's cover-up, the nostrums they floated, the delay tactics that were employed, and the outright lies that were spewed forth from the necks of the John Kerry State Department, we shall leave it at this. They did everything humanly possible to cover for Hillary. Now, this is amazing. Guess who became FBI director in 2013? Guess who secured 17 no-bid contracts for his employer, Lockheed Martin, with the State Department, and was awarded, or is that rewarded, with a $6 million thank you present when he departed Lockheed Martin? James Comey. Amazing how all those no bids just went right through at State, right? Now he's the FBI director in charge of the Clinton email investigation, after, of course, his FBI investigations of the Lois Lerner matter at her Internal Revenue Service results in her exoneration of any wrongdoing. Nope, couldn't find any crimes there. What happens next? April 2016, James Comey drafts an exoneration letter of Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, the Department of Justice is handing out immunity deals like candy. They didn't even convene a grand jury. Like a lightning bolt of statistical impossibility, like a miracle from God himself, like the true gangsta Comey is, James steps out into the cameras of an awaiting press conference on July the 5th of 2016 and exonerates Hillary from any wrongdoing. Are we seeing the pattern yet? Rosenstein becomes Assistant Attorney General. Comey gets fired based upon a letter by Rosenstein. Comey leaks government information to the press. Mueller is assigned to the Russian investigation sham by Rosenstein to provide cover for decades of malfeasance within FBI and DOJ, and the story continues. FISA abuse, political espionage, pick a crime, any crime. Chances are this crew, plus a few others, were involved. All the same players, all compromised and conflicted, all working fervently to not go to jail themselves, and all connected in one way or another to the Clintons. They are like battery acid. They corrode and corrupt everything they touch. How many lives have these two destroyed? As of this writing, the Clinton Foundation, in its 20-plus years of operation of being the largest international charity fraud in the history of mankind, has never been audited by the Internal Revenue Service. And let's not forget that Comey's brother works for DLA Piper, the law firm that does the Clinton Foundation's taxes. And see, the person that is the common denominator to all the crimes above listed and still doing her evil escape legal maneuvers at the top of the three-letter U.S. agencies, yeah, that would be Hillary Rodham Clinton. There's one more. Get this. This is amazing. Who is Lisa Barsumian? Let's learn a little about Mrs. Lisa H. Barsumian's background. Lisa H. Barsumian, a U.S. attorney that graduated from Georgetown Law, is a protege of James Comey and Robert Mueller. Barsumian, with her boss, R. Craig Lawrence, represented Bill Clinton in 1998. Lawrence also represented Robert Mueller 3 times, James Comey 5 times, Barack Obama 45 times, Kathleen Sebelius 56 times, Bill Clinton 40 times, and Hillary Clinton 17 times. Between 1998 and 2017, Barsumian herself represented the FBI at least 5 times. Now, you may be saying to yourself, okay, who cares? Who cares about the work history of this Barsumian woman? Well, apparently somebody does, because somebody out there cares so much that they've purged all Barsumian court documents for her Clinton representation in Hamburg versus Clinton 1998 and its appeal in 1999 from the D.C. District and Appeals Court dockets. Someone out there cares so much that the internet has been purged of all information pertaining to Barsoomian. Historically, this indicates that the individual is a protected CIA operator. Additionally, Lisa Barsoomian has specialized in opposing Freedom of Information Act requests on behalf of the intelligence community. And although Barsoomian has been involved in hundreds of cases representing the D.C. office of the U.S. Attorney, her email address is lisabarsoomian@nih.gov. NIH stands for National Institutes of Health. This is a tactic routinely used by CIA to protect an operator by using another government organization to shield their activities. It's a cover, so big deal, right? What does one more attorney with ties to the U.S. intelligence community really matter? It deals with Trump and his recent tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminum imports. The border wall, DACA, everything coming out of California, the Uniparty's unrelenting opposition to President Trump, the Clapper leaks, the Comey leaks, Attorney General Jeff Sessions' recusal and subsequent 14-month nap with occasional forays into the marijuana legalization mix, and last but not least, Mueller's never-ending investigation into collusion between the Trump team and the Russians. Why does Barsoomian, CIA operative, merit any attention? Because she is Assistant Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's wife. That's why. Jaw-dropping, shocking, and extremely sad that this info has never been exposed. Do your part in plastering this information everywhere. It's bulletproof and cannot be blown off by leftists, and will convince many not paying attention that we have a soft coup happening right now. And Proverb 17 is here. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So, keep a joyful heart, because all these works of darkness are being exposed. Ephesians 5:11 is right there on the homepage, Caravan to Midnight. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness. Instead, expose them. So now you have it, and spread it. Spread the word, spread the news. Don't just keep it all to yourself, pass it around. If anybody doubts that any of this is true, do some research, check it out. If any of it's false, say so.